guys, I'm Deepthi Desikan and this video is going to be affordable dupes to my favorite and some popular high-end foundations. I feel like I've done one like this I think 3 or 4 years ago, and ever since that video I haven't done any other video like that, and I have received a lot of requests for foundation dupes exclusively. Now it's good to know that people are still interested in watching all of this. This is like really old school content. I love filming videos like this and I feel it's very helpful. I mean, there could be people who feel like this is not at all helpful. You can skip this video, but if you are someone who's looking for like similar finishes in affordable foundations that perform like high-end, you can stay tuned for this video. They don't really have necessarily the same ingredients, but their finish, the coverage and the way they look on the skin is very, very similar. And they are, even the affordable foundations are really popular. They're really good quality foundations and they speak for themselves. And while I'm swatching all of these foundations on my face, I don't really have even a moisturizer on my face. It's just only the foundation because I wanted you guys to see it true to its finish. And I love how my skin is looking actually, and that is all kudos to really good skincare, you guys. I'm really at a place where I'm absolutely appreciating the way my skin looks, and that's the only way I could pull off swatches of so many foundations on my skin without it taking a toll on my skin, without it like looking bad on my skin. Every single time when I'm doing so many makeup videos, trying out so many products on my face and testing it out, I'm still able to retain that good skin health with really good skincare products. And most of the products I've been using these days are pretty much skincare products from Indian brands, and they are really stepping up the skincare game, and I'm really happy with the innovations in skincare that I am able to experience these days. And one such product is this one, serum with injection like packaging. Have you ever seen a vitamin C serum that tingles your skin and comes in an injection style shot? I just tried this and wow, I'm shocked. Introducing the first ever 50,000 ppm vitamin C microneedles serum shot by the Derma Co. This is a revolutionary skincare innovation that is now easily available and accessible in India too. You might wonder what makes this serum so special. This isn't your average serum. It is infused with microneedles, tiny invisible structures that create microchannels in your skin. That means you get 5 times more penetration of vitamin C, and that tingling sensation that you encounter, that is science doing its thing. It's a complete glow reviving cocktail in just one shot. After just a few uses, I feel like my skin looks a lot more brighter, more even toned, and definitely more alive. Plus, this is dermatologically designed to be safe and effective for all skin types. Use this shot 2 to 3 times on clean skin and you will feel a slight tingle on your skin like I mentioned, but that is just the way the product works. That means it's actually being effective and working on your skin. And follow this up with a moisturizer and an SPF in the morning. If you've been let down by your regular serums, they're not potent enough, they're not working for your skin, they've stopped working over time, it's time to level up. Level up. Level up. This little shot is like a skincare superpower. I have no other better ways to put it out there. Shop this product now on the Derma Co website using my discount code, that is Deepthi 2025. And additionally, these products are also available on Amazon, Nykaa, Flipkart and Purple. And I will make sure to link these products and mention the coupon code in the description box below as well. And every single time you shop from the Derma Co's website, they help link your order to a child they help educate along with the Bhumi Foundation, and as part of their Young Scientist initiative, they have empowered 20,000 plus students. So yeah, this is something that I have tried out, and I have started to put this in giveaway boxes as well for you guys to try out, because it is something that I think a lot of you would like and appreciate. I am someone with pretty much sensitive skin and it's not giving me any breakouts, so absolutely love this product. So once you're done with using it, put the cap back on and protect your product so that you can use it for a prolonged period of time and it's remaining safe right there. So now moving on to one of my favorite foundations ever. This is the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. This is in the shade 270 light medium neutral, which matches me pretty well, and I have been leaning towards neutral tones in foundations, and even though it might not look that great of a match on camera, and I love this foundation because even just a little bit of product gives you the most even blend, and it gives you like pretty medium to sort of medium high coverage, and you can always build on it. So this one pump on this side, you can see it pretty much covered everything on my face. It spreads evenly and it gives you that very buttery looking finish. It looks like, you know, your skin is covered, but it's not looking cakey and it's not looking matte, but again not very dewy. And this dark spot on my face is not fully masked up, but I could build on it. And the affordable alternative to this foundation that maybe would catch a lot of you guys by surprise, but I own this foundation way before the Haus Labs one. Ever since I got this one, when I applied it on my face, I was like, okay, it's very similar to this affordable foundation that I own. And the foundation I'm going to be talking about is the Derma's 2% niacinamide high coverage foundation. Now this also gives that very same finish. Like one pump, you can see it looks beautiful. It covers up everything on the face. It looks very healthy. It looks buttery on the skin. It can cover pretty much everything. And one additional bonus to this Derma foundation is that it's not very drying on my skin. Like I mentioned to you guys, I didn't even prep my skin with a moisturizer, as basic as that. Like sometimes I feel like my moisturizer maybe makes the foundation look a little bit too dewy or something, so I just applied it right on bare skin. And the Haus one was starting to like sort of dry out around this side of my mouth and clinging on certain dry patches, but this was just looking so healthy and it was just sitting beautifully on top of the skin, not clinging on to my skin anywhere, and just amazing. So I absolutely love that for this foundation. It has a little bit of a glow and it's not too much. It's not something that is very glowy looking. It is a very healthy looking foundation, very underrated in the Indian market. I don't really hear a lot of people talk about this. This portion of the video is not sponsored by Derma, and if you happen to try this out, you would understand. And if you have Haus and this one, compare it side by side and let me know. The next foundation I'm going to be talking about is another one that used to be a very, like, it used to be in that top #1 position for me, but it's now stepped down a little bit. This one is the Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. This is a very misunderstood foundation, I feel like, and a lot of people don't really like this. Now if you have very dry skin, I'm not sure how much you would like it, but this does need really good skin prep. Otherwise it can look very drying on your skin. But for me, I've applied it again, like I mentioned, without any skin prep, and even then it was not looking matte, it was not looking powdery, it was not looking cakey, and I can always count on this one to just look beautiful. And if you want coverage, this is the foundation that would get you that. Just one pump of this foundation is actually sufficient to cover up like your entire face, and then you can build it up with just that extra half pump and you get full coverage. So this is not a foundation you use lavishly like all of your other foundations. It gives you full coverage. It could cover up that spot on my face, and just even it looks blurry on the skin. It doesn't look cakey, dry, heavy, nothing like that. And I've worn this so many times. It just photographs amazingly. It wears really well irrespective of the weather condition. But I know this could be a pricey pretty penny. If you wanted like a very good alternative to this foundation, you should be trying out the Mass high coverage foundation. This is also just as good as this foundation in terms of the finish, in terms of the coverage. They are matte higher coverage foundations, but they don't look very heavy on the skin. They don't look extremely cakey on the skin, and they don't sort of look like they're on the verge of cracking on your face or sucking out the moisture from your face. They look beautiful, they last beautifully, and people who don't really like the Tilbury foundation have happened to like the Mass foundation too. So it's a very good foundation for the price. Not a very vast shade range, but pretty decent in terms of shade. In the Tilbury, I'm in the shade 7.5 warm, and in this Mass, I'm in the shade 06. It looks like 9, right? It's 06. So yeah, pretty good foundation matches, pretty good wear time and lasting power. And then moving on, I want to talk to you guys about this one. This is the Rare Beauty Tinted Moisturizer, and this is in the shade 34W, which is a very warm toned product, but it looks beautiful on my skin. Every single time I've worn this, my skin looks really healthy and fresh, and it's not that tinted moisturizer that looks very invisible on your skin. It's not like a tinted sunscreen. It does have pretty good coverage actually, and also has a very radiant, beautiful, glowy finish on the skin. And I was actually looking at my collection to find like which product would be very close to this, because it is supposed to be like a tinted moisturizer but also have pretty good coverage and have that dewy finish. And I landed up with this comparison on my face. This one is the Faces Canada 3-in-1 all day Hydra matte foundation. This is said to be a foundation, sunscreen, moisturizer all in one. Now this product is actually a very good dupe for a lot of high-end products in my opinion, and this also is like a product you can play around a lot with. You can keep it very light like a tinted moisturizer, build it on a little bit more, sort of like a BB cream sort of a finish, and then you can keep it like a light medium foundation or a medium coverage foundation. So it's a product that gives you that room to play around with it. And I have this one in the shade Warm Sand 042, which is a pretty good match for me, and this has that same glowy finish as this tinted moisturizer, and even better that it doubles up as a foundation too. So if you wanted a good alternative to the Rare Beauty moisturizer, you can try this out. And then moving on to another skin tint that of late I've been obsessing over. This one is the Urban Decay Light Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. This is in the shade light medium. It's a beautiful product. It's a little bit thick, okay, as a skin tint. It gives you light medium coverage, but it's extremely glowy on the skin. Would not work for people with oily skin, not during this weather condition at least. And I know I mentioned that, you know, this is not that great of a product to buy because it is dupable. It is because it is dupable, but I just love the finish of this, the shade match and everything. And on the Nykaa sale, it is on a discount for flat 30% off, and I feel like it is worth the price. It looks very healthy on the skin. An affordable alternative to that has the same kind of finish is from Haus of Makeup. This is their Face Anything Luminous Skin Tint, and this is in the shade M15. Now these two products are not similar in terms of consistency. This is not something that is very runny, but this is like a typical skin tint. It is a little bit runny, but they are a little bit on the thicker side, both of them, and they look, you know, creamier on the face. They give good medium coverage. They look very glowy and have that same kind of finish, as you guys can see from the swatches side by side. So this is something I would recommend for people who are looking for skin tints that have a slight more coverage and have a very creamy glossy finish on your skin, something that is extremely dewy. This is a little bit thicker than the Rare Beauty tinted moisturizers. That is very like runny in terms of like the consistency, and the coverage it can give is sort of light medium. I feel like this is something that is on the thicker side, so gives you slightly more coverage than that itself. Both of this actually, I am already using these products non-stop back to back, even during the summer months. And right now I'm indoors, have AC on, so I can wear this, but I can not see myself reaching out for this during this very hot weather because I feel like it would melt off my face. So that's the reason I'm recommending this for like dry skin, winter months. Absolute must have. Next product, also another skin tint. This one is the Fenty Beauty Blurring skin tint, eavesdrop blurring skin tint. I have this one in the shade 9, which is a neutral shade and a tad bit lighter for my skin tone. I can use this during the winter months. This is very light in terms of coverage. It's a very runny product. It doesn't give you as much of a glowy finish like the Rare Beauty one, and it is much lesser than that in terms of coverage, and it has a sort of matte finish on the skin. It's not at all a dewy product. An affordable alternative that is pretty much exactly the same in terms of consistency, the way they feel on the skin, the way they look on the skin. This one is the LA Girl Tinted Foundation. This has a buildable natural finish. This is in the shade Tawny. Now the same, like I mentioned, they have very runny consistency and very negligible coverage, like sort of light coverage, very tinted moisturizer-esque of it. Both of this have that matte finish. Like if I were to package this in something that had no name and I was going to give you like 2 samples and try it out, you would think both of these are the exact same products because of the way they feel on the skin. So that is how this is. So if you didn't want to buy the Fenty one and you just wanted to try it out, you were very curious, and a lot of people are talking about it, you just didn't have the budget, you just don't want to spend that much money on it, first try out an affordable product, something that is easily available in India and can get on a discount most of the times on Haus Makeup for 30% off. This one. Initially when LA Girl launched in India, there used to be a lot of discounts, but of late I don't really see that many discounts. Next up, a very popular product that took the world by a storm, but not this girl right here. This one is the Huda Beauty Easy Blur Natural Airbrush Foundation. This is in the shade 340G Baklava. The shade is a pretty good match, but I just feel like I don't really like the finish of this. Like just from afar, you can't really make out the way it looks on my skin, but if you were to come really close, you can see that it looks a little bit powdery and it just sits on top of my skin. I have products that just blend on my skin seamlessly, that look like second skin, but this is certainly not that, and I'm not expecting it to look like second skin because it is said to be like an airbrushed foundation, but it doesn't really look that airbrushed on my face. It doesn't really look that natural looking. It's very artificial and like very powdery, okay? But I can see this work for people with very oily skin and like combination oily skin type, and during this weather condition particularly, you would absolutely love it. And this is pretty pricey, but I think a lot of you guys already have the affordable alternative with you right now. This one is the Maybelline Lumi Matte Foundation, and this is in the shade 230. Initially I detested this foundation. I absolutely didn't like it, but today when I was swatching it again, this is not the first time I've ever tried this foundation. I've tried it out a couple of times when I didn't really have any skin prep. I love the way this foundation is looking on my skin, so I'm going to give it another shot, because right now my skin is not as dry as it was before. It's not as dull as it was looking before, and so it's looking a lot like I mentioned, because of all my skin prep and my skin care that I've been putting into and my dietary changes and everything. My skin is looking a lot better. I'm very happy with it. It looks glowy, it looks radiant, it's bright, and it's not as dull looking and lifeless. So I'm loving this foundation now. I'm going to be giving it another shot again another time before I confirm my thoughts about this foundation. But this looks exactly like this foundation, maybe a lot less powdery on my skin, same kind of finish, same kind of coverage, and not as airbrushed as the claims are. This is exactly what this should be. Lumi Matte foundation. It's not an airbrush foundation. It doesn't look like it's airbrushed, and it doesn't look like, you know, it's like a filter on. That's how they marketed this foundation when it first launched. Like, it looks like you have a filter on your skin. It doesn't certainly look like that, but it looks like you have some product on your skin, but maybe not as heavy or cakey looking. Next up, I'm going to be talking about everybody's favorite skin tint. At least that's what I think. This one is the Smashbox Halo Healthy All-in-One Tinted Moisturizer. This gives you really good coverage. It is not very like light like a tinted moisturizer, not like the Fenty one. This has a little bit more coverage, sort of like medium, sort of even like you can build it onto medium coverage also if you want to, and it has very good lasting power. Setting, no setting, still doesn't make a difference to this one. It has a little bit more of a luminosity when I applied it. I noticed that, like, you don't really usually notice it as much when you just apply this product, but if you're like comparing two products side by side, that's when you notice all of these little details. That's what I noticed with this one. But I'm very glad to let you guys know that the affordable alternative that I have is also one of my favorite, something I have been reaching out for ever since I got my hands on this. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour tinted serum foundation, and I love how this looks on my skin. It is very comparable. Both of this is comparable to a lot of high-end products again, and it just looks nice and healthy and skin-like, and it looks pretty matte on my skin compared to the Smashbox one. I have to give it that. But I love the finish of this. It doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look powdery, it doesn't fade away in a whiff. Again, a very long-lasting product, and again a very buildable product. You can play around with this. So if you wanted a good alternative to the Smashbox one, just stick to trying this out. The next foundation I'm going to be talking about is also one of my favorite. I mean, how many favorites do you have? But I'm spoiled for choices. I have so many foundations that I absolutely love that every day I can reach out for something new and try it out, because all of this have my heart. This is a Smashbox Always On foundation. This is in the shade L30N, which is what I have on my face right now, which matches me pretty well. Now, if you have to compare this to the Haus foundation on my face, they look pretty similar, but just that this is a tad bit more matte to demi matte finish. And I absolutely love this foundation. I love the way it looks on my skin. I love the coverage. I love the lasting power. Extremely long wearing foundation, and the shade match too. Like, they have really good shades and undertones in this one if you wanted to try it out. And something that was actually similar, exactly similar in terms of finish, the lasting power and everything, was this Rimmel lasting finish foundation. But I recently checked this on Nykaa, and they just have one shade, and I think even that is out of stock. So I'm not sure if they've discontinued this. If you have this foundation, you don't really have to go ahead and buy this. But in the demo, I didn't apply that foundation. Instead, I applied this one, which is available and in all shades. This is the Nykaa All Day Matte Foundation. This is for normal to combination oil skin and matte and long wear. Like I mentioned, this is also not a straight up matte finish. This also has sort of like that demi matte finish, very wearable for different skin types, a long wearing foundation, and pretty good shade range in this. I have this one in the shade Nutmeg 09, which is a little bit more on the like lighter side and neutral, and this is in terms of finish and coverage and the consistency, the way they look on the skin, it is very similar. Next up, I have the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear Foundation. Now, if you saw the swatch of this, you'd be like, what is this product? Because it's very thin in terms of the consistency, very like runny and watery, and has sort of like a thin matte finish on your face. It's not thick, it's not creamy, it's not like a demi matte. It pretty much looks matte on your face, but it's not that drying matte. It doesn't look very dry and heavy on your face because it has that very thin consistency. And something that is very similar to that is from e.l.f. This is their Flawless Satin Foundation, and these two have pretty much similar finishes, similar coverage, sort of light medium to leaning towards medium. I can't build on this foundation too much, and likewise even with this foundation I could never get it to look like, you know, a medium high coverage foundation or like a full coverage foundation. So these two sort of lead towards light medium coverage, and they look exactly the same. And then another popular product, this is MAC Studio Radiance Serum Powered Foundation. This is an unexpected product for me that fetches me so many compliments, and sometimes I'm just like, really, is that looking that good on my skin? This again has sort of like runny to a little bit thicker consistency, spreadable on your face, but sort of looks little matte. Okay, not a very dewy foundation. Even though it's mentioned serum powered and it's a Studio Radiance line, it doesn't have as much of radiance as you would think, but it just somehow looks beautiful and flawless on your skin. Again, very airbrushed. And something that is similar in terms of this one to the finish, the coverage and the spreadability of this product is the Kiro Daily Dewy Serum Foundation. It has that same finish on the face, and it is a slightly thicker product, because of which it gives you a little bit more coverage than the MAC foundation itself. Another point of difference you would notice is that this has shimmer particles in it, not visible per se on your face, but when you swatch it on the back of your hand and then you've taken off that swatch, you can see tiny shimmer particles. In this doesn't have that, but both of these are like serum based foundations infused with a lot of skincare, which I'm not sure how many people like it. Some people believe that a lot of skincare in makeup makes it slip away, makes it fade away a lot faster, but that doesn't happen necessarily with these two foundations. The last one I have is something that fetches me a lot of compliments, but an extremely expensive foundation, the Dior Forever Skin Glow Foundation. This is very runny in terms of the consistency, but it gives you good medium coverage, looking extremely healthy on the skin. And so that's the reason I really love this. I've reached out for this so many times, and so many people have complimented me on this foundation. And a similar foundation in terms of the finish, but not at all the consistency, is this e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. It gives you that same healthy looking finish on your face, and so it also ends up giving you a little bit more coverage than the Dior foundation itself. So yeah, a good alternative to the Dior foundation if you wanted to try it out. So that's pretty much all of the products I wanted to talk to you guys about. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was not too overwhelming and not too confusing for you guys. Let me know what other videos you'd like to watch in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.